Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything going on in the world of sports. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go.
Instead of looking deep inside, every word I have to say, keep it simple.
Do not adjust your dial. Welcome to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. In case you forgot, my name is Ken M. Joining me in studio, as he always does, you know him as the man of 1,004 aliases. I lose track all the time. I just like to call him your Locks and Leaps champion of 2025, Padawan J.
Let me talk to you.
And it's been a while since we talked, folks. It has been a while. But fear not, we have been staying very busy on Fanlight Zone.
Hell yeah.
So if you have not been checking out what's going on at the new home of comics pop culture, make sure to swing on over there. But schedules, holidays have all kind of been intertwined and really made it tough to get to a podcast episode breaking down a parlay of topics. But fear not. Like we've told you before, the show is not going anywhere. You're going to get some great content weekly here on the network. So if you want to look for more, especially in the sports and pro wrestling area, Pad, where should everybody go?
ODPHpodcast.com.
Right on. We still got the website up. We still got the merch store up. We still got the blogs. We still have the friends of the show, such as 3FN Podcast, Dragon Master Games, and many, many more. Also, directory where if you're not sure where you're listening to the show on, Pat, how many providers are we on?
100,386.
Exactly. So wherever you're listening to the show on, it means the absolute world that you're giving us your time and attention. So make sure to drop a follow, subscribe, like, review. It definitely helps the algorithm of the show. And, of course, check out the music section, which has so many great bands as Second Suitor, Tom Jolu, shout out to the Robots Floodlands, and Brian Wolf and the Howlas, who just came through the area too.
Yeah,
during the middle of the snowstorm, by the way.
Oh, my Lord.
So, I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to see him play live, but if you get the chance, go see him, as well as everybody else we just mentioned. And also make sure to check out fanlightzone.com. A lot of things happening there. Comic reviews. Nobody, and I stress this, nobody is doing more great quality reviews than the Fanlight Zone team each and every week. The past week, 36 reviews.
Whew.
Maybe 38. I lost track. So if you want to get your comic book hookup, that's where you go. For anything else is the ODPH podcast, and that is odphpodcast.com. And if you're still using hashtags on social media, because I hear that you're not supposed to anymore, or there's a limit, blah, 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 why not use the hashtag ODPHpod? Helps the algorithm of the show. Once again, it's all about that algorithm.
Yeah.
So obviously, let's kick off with some sports. We do have some entertainment to discuss on the show, too, because we are talking the parlay of topics. And if you're living in the United States right now, I mean, it is football season.
This is true.
The NFL has just wrapped up its regular season. Coaches have been getting fired.
Oh, Lord.
And that means only one thing. We're talking playoffs.
Uh-huh.
So a select few have won enough games to punch their ticket and a chance to play in the biggest sporting event in the world, the Super Bowl, in the early months of this year. So definitely the road to get there is going to be taking a while. But in February, that's when it's all going down. Which, I mean, what can you say? Super Bowl is a spectacle like nothing else.
This is true.
And obviously this year is when, Pad?
It is taking place Sunday, February 8th, 2026 from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California.
2026 has just snuck up on me so fast. I just almost forgot when it was. But I know February, obviously, that first weekend, it's going to be rocking and rolling. But who's going to punch their ticket there? That is what we're going to be talking about this first segment, because we're going to break down the initial run of the playoffs and give you our predictions about who's going to go in there. After we gave you our early ones way in the beginning of the season. Yeah. But now, obviously, some teams have punched their tickets. Some other punching their airline passes to go somewhere else.
I'll say some of them are punching their tickets to Cancun, or in the case of others, going wide right of Cancun.
Yes, this is true.
Hey, went there.
I was not even going to say that. What a crushing blow for the Baltimore Ravens. I can't even. I can empathize.
Sure.
Because obviously, being a Buffalo Bills fan.
Sure.
Wide right means something, but in that game, I feel awful for that kicker. And I just want to stress this to fans, too.
I wonder if he got a text message from Scott Norwood.
Well, he might have, but I'm going to just stress this to all fans. It's just a game.
Seriously.
The death threats and nonsense that have allegedly been going down. I mean, like I say, there's been a lot of nonsense. Yeah. That's not allegedly.
If you're one of the fans, however, that has been donating to his charity, good on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I always like when fans of teams that defeated the opposing teams, like if somebody's responsible or whatever, or seen as like the scapegoat for why that team lost. If you're a fan of the opposing team that won and you donate to that player's charity, hey, good on you.
Well, I think in a situation like this where him and his fiance have unfortunately been the subjects of very vicious online attacks. I think for a good spin on it is people are going out and donating to his charity, and that's the easiest way to say like that's not okay. And if you're somebody that's attacking somebody like that on the line, just delete this episode and bounce out.
Yeah,
just
pretty
saying,
much.
we don't welcome that here.
Yeah,
but we do welcome positive football talk, and obviously we're going to get into that. So, Pat, we are talking wild card weekend.
Yeah.
Let's break down the games. Let's see who's going to be punching their tickets to the Super Bowl.
So the 7 teams we have qualifying in the American Football Conference are in numerical order. At the 1 seed, the Denver Broncos. At the 2 seed, the New England Patriots. The 3 seed, the Jacksonville Jaguars. The 4 seed, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 5 seed, the Houston Texans. The 6 seed, the Buffalo Bills. And at the 7 seed, the artist formerly known as the San Diego Chargers.
Yeah.
And for the National Football Conference, at the 1 seed, you have the Seattle Seahawks. The 2 seed, the Chicago Bears. The 3 seed, those lovable Philadelphia Eagles. The 4 seed, the Carolina Panthers. 5 seed, the Los Angeles Rams. And the 6 seed, the San Francisco 49ers. And at the 7 seed, the Green Bay Packers. So your schedule for this weekend is as follows. Starting on Saturday, January 10th at 4:30 p.m. on Fox, you've got the L.A. Rams at the Carolina Panthers. Then at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Prime Video, you've got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears in Chicago, mind you. I'm going to look up what the weather's going to be for Chicago this upcoming Saturday. I'm going out on a limb. Probably going to be pretty cold.
Yeah.
Then Sunday, January 11th, starting at 1 o'clock Eastern on CBS, you've got the Buffalo Bills in Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Going on at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, you've then got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. And then closing out Sunday, you've got the L.A. Chargers taking on the New England Patriots at 8 o'clock Eastern on NBC and Peacock up in Foxborough. And then closing out Wildcard Weekend on Monday, January 12th, 2026 at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on ESPN ABC. You've got the Houston Texans traveling up to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
So a lot of intriguing matchups this first round. Denver and Seattle, they get the byes.
Yep.
I will say this, for anybody that has to go play them at their home stadiums, it's going to be difficult for different reasons.
Oh, Chicago, scheduled Sunday. Looks like it's going to be some form of precipitation and probably snow. 31 degrees.
But, here's the thing,
That could be worse, though.
It could be a lot worse. But where I'm going with this is home field advantages means a lot. Where the teams are going, especially that first round, like you alluded to with the Bears, it's either going to really have a big effect on them or it's not.
Sure.
I think in the Bears' case, it's not going to be that bad because Green Bay is freezing cold a lot.
That is true.
To put it mildly.
That is true.
But let's start off with the first game on the docket, though. Let's kind of break this down.
Sure.
So we got the Rams going to Carolina.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I think this is probably one of the safest picks of the weekend.
Probably.
I don't see the Rams losing this at all.
So as we currently speak, the spread on the game is the LA Rams by 10.5. It opened at Rams by 10, so it hasn't swung all that much. The over-under is 46.5. I'd say take the under on that one. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no, listen, it's a great story for Carolina, especially as bonkers as that NFC South was the last 2 days of the regular season of the NFL, where the one game was played on Saturday between the Panthers and the Buccaneers, and then they both had to pay attention to how the Saints and the Falcons were going to do on Sunday, because if the Saints won, I believe it was the Buccaneers would make it into the playoffs, and then if the Falcons won, the Panthers would have made it into the playoffs, so it was wild to see. But hey, kudos to Carolina making it back to the playoffs for the first time in a number of years. I know it was announced today as we record. They've got that drum in the stadium there, which they keep pounding, and they always usually bring in somebody from the Carolinas or from the franchise to come in and kind of get fans fired up, making his triumphant return to the team for the first time in, a couple of years. Cam Newton's going to be there at the game.
Okay.
Cam Newton's going to be at the game on Saturday, pounding that drum and getting the crowd fired up. So, hey, it's going to be a raucous stadium. That's for sure.
Well, they're going to be fired up, but I think just unfortunately for them, they don't match up well against the Rams.
No, I mean, unfortunately, the Rams are an offensive juggernaut, the likes we haven't seen in, a couple of years. And I just think, listen, as good as Bryce Young is, he's had a tremendous season, with 23 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Listen, Stafford is in the MVP conversation for a reason.
Exactly. I think that this is going to be an easy win for them, even if they have to travel. It's nothing against Carolina per se, but they lucked into the playoffs.
Sure.
They did not look great all season.
Sure.
Bryce Young, I will agree, probably the most improved player of the year.
Yeah.
Debatable.
He's in the conversation.
He's in that conversation.
Yeah.
But you have to really take a look and see about him matching up against Stafford.
Yeah.
And I will take Stafford in this all day. I think just the Rams are very solid all around on both sides of the ball.
Sure.
But I think especially Stafford, when he has time to really pick apart a defense, he's going to do that. And I think he's going to have a lot of, easy plays here. It's just Carolina is on the cusp. They're not there. I mean, granted, they did luck into this.
Sure.
They could pull off the biggest upset of the weekend if they win.
Yeah.
But I think it would have to take like something happening where Stafford gets hurt or something.
Yeah.
Not wishing that by any stretch of the means. But I think that that's their only chance of doing this. I think this is going to be maybe up there around like a 30-17 win.
Yeah,
like,
I could say it.
Like they'll cover the spread, I think.
Yeah.
It's just that defense is very solid.
Yeah.
And I think just you look into the personnel, I mean, I will go with Stafford over Young every day of the week.
Yeah.
It's just he's not there yet.
Yeah.
But Carolina they need a couple players this offseason.
Well, and especially the Carolina defense, not exactly known for being lights out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest problem.
And I'm looking at the injury report. There's a couple of names here. I mean, for the Rams, they've got a couple tight ends that are listed as questionable. Terrence Ferguson, hamstring. Tyler Higbee, ankle. But nothing's really like, oh God, like, huge. Like, oh no, Puka Nacua might not play, and Devontae Adams is not going to play. Like, it's nothing huge. There's a couple but they'll be fine. And then for Carolina, it's mostly defensive. They've got two of their defensive players questionable because of concussions, Robert Rochelle and Bobby Brown III. And then the other ones are on IR, so they won't be playing anyway. So I think, unfortunately, hey, it's a good opportunity for Carolina to show up and show out, but unfortunately, the spotlight might be a little too bright.
Too much too soon.
Yeah.
I mean, but listen, it's something for them to build off of.
Yeah.
So if you're a Carolina fan, you just got to be happy you're in the game.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Then you've got the game taking place at 8 o'clock Eastern on Prime Video with the Green Bay Packers traveling down, I should say, to Chicago to take on the Bears. Currently, the line is at 1.5. That is where it opened. So not much movement there. And then the over-under on this game is 45.5.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The oldest rivalry in all of football is now taking up a whole different notch. Chicago, which if I may take a victory lap.
Sure.
Did I or did I not say they're going to be the most improved team in the league?
I believe you did.
So did I think they were going to be in the contention for the number 1 seed? No.
No, you had them finishing second place.
Yeah. I had them.
And you had them making the playoffs, but as a wild card.
Yeah. But to see them take the division, it's a huge thing for Ben Johnson, what he's done there.
Sure.
I think you have to say he's in that short list of Coach of the Year. I think there's another person in the AFC that could give him a run for the money.
Rhymes with Abel.
Yeah. But you have to take a look at what he's done with his team. He's given them a personality. He got the most out of Caleb Williams, which,
good Lord,
I will say, Detroit, I don't have any animosity.
How you feeling right now?
I don't have any animosity towards them, but you saw Jared Goff take a major step back. You saw leaps and bounds with Caleb Williams.
3,942 yards this season, good for 7th in the NFL. 27 touchdowns, good for 6th. 7 interceptions, which was tied for 12th. And then 58.3 QBR, which was 16th.
Yeah. So the fact that he came in, and I thought they were going to be a season away,
Yeah.
The fact that they have snuck up on teams and gotten to an 11-6 record, it's a testament to everybody's buying into what Johnson's doing there. This is trouble for anybody in the NFC North for a couple seasons.
Absolutely.
I will say every coach, you have to keep reinventing yourself if you want to stay relevant. So he's going to have some work to do in this offseason. But going against Green Bay, it's not any strangers. They know what to expect out of each other. Jordan Love is going to need to play flawlessly.
Yeah, he is.
I think they have the potential to do it. But losing Micah Parsons for the year, that hurts. Should
note they also split the season series, winning one and losing one. The Packers won the game week 14, which was the first weekend of December, 28-21. They met again 2 weeks later, Saturday, December 20th, where Chicago beat them 22-16 in overtime.
Yeah, they're going to play tough. I mean, it's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
It just depends on who makes a mistake first.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Green Bay was my pick to go to the Super Bowl.
This is true.
I don't feel as confident, but I do think...
Listen, at least one of your picks for the Super Bowl is still there.
Yeah, this is true. I will say...
My winner. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get to that.
But I do think in this situation, Green Bay is going to have enough to get by.
Okay.
It's going to be close.
Sure.
Like, if the Bears win, I'm not going to be shocked.
Sure.
Like if I had to flip a coin, like that's honestly how close I think this game is going to be.
Sure.
But I think Jordan Love is playing at such a good level that even with Williams' strides, this is still a lot of pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're almost playing with house money. Like,
effectively.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't expected to be here. So if they lose, it's a learning experience for them.
Uh-huh.
And they're only going to get better next season. Like, they're not going to sneak up on a lot of teams.
Sure.
I think for Green Bay, though, they've been used to doing this without a great defense.
Uh-huh.
And as long as Love is healthy,
sure,
he's going to keep them in games. Like,
sure.
It's something about the franchise, which, I mean, let's face it, they don't have a number one wide receiver.
Not yet.
Haven't had one in quite some time.
Not yet.
But
Gold might be that someday, but
maybe
not right now.
Asterisk question mark.
Yeah.
But they win ugly.
Yeah.
Losing their tight ends, though, that hurts.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that might come to get them later in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say for this one, you're looking at a 24-21 win.
The thing that concerns me the most with the Green Bay Packers is I'm looking at the schedule. They haven't won a game in a month. And their last win, as I alluded to, and as I mentioned, was the December 7th game against the Bears. Since that game, they've lost to the Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Minnesota Vikings. So, two teams who are in the playoffs, two teams who are not in the playoffs. That's concerning to me. Now, granted, I get, Jordan Love missed a couple of those games.
Yeah, that was going to say.
Is what it is. But still, this isn't baseball. This isn't tennis. This isn't, golf or insert any other sport where it's a one-person game. There are a multitude of people who go into this and any of them can be the difference maker in the game. Heck, even a kicker. So having Love not ideal, that doesn't mean any of the other guys on offense or defense can't step up and help be the deciding factor to win them that game. So the fact that they lost these games, some of them not even close. Baltimore 41-24 loss.
Well,
yikes. So that's a concern to me. On the flip side, yeah, Chicago's, and I can hear the Green Bay fans, well, Chicago lost their last two games of the regular season. Yeah, they did. San Francisco and Detroit, where San Francisco, they just lost 42-38.
But how crazy was that game?
That was bonkers.
Yeah, so.
And then they lost the last game of the regular season to Detroit 19-16. So both teams are coming in on losing streaks, but the one for Green Bay is just concerning to me a little bit more. And listen, I think Chicago, like you said, Chicago's playing with house money. They ain't got nothing to prove. Nobody figured they would be there outside of the greater Chicago area. And, well, South Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're going to be riding the high. They're going to be the anticipation is going to be just as high. The crowd's going to be going bonkers. And I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to ultimately come down to, a missed pass or a sack or heck, even a field goal at the end of the game. But I think ultimately Chicago's going to squeak it out.
I could see it. Like I say, this one, if you want me to really say is a lock. I can't.
Sure.
This is one that it could go back and forth. But
Sure.
Jordan Love has to be healthy and has to play flawlessly.
Uh-huh.
If he doesn't, he makes one mistake this game, he loses this game.
Yep. Then we move into the Sunday games, and as we alluded to, the 1 o'clock game on CBS is the Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Currently, the line is the Buffalo Bills by 1.5 points. That is where it opens, so nothing has moved there. The over-under on this game is 51.5. In this instance, I'm telling you, take the over. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Take the over easily on that one.
Well, the biggest question mark with this is what Bills team is going to show up.
Uh-huh.
Because I think as much as a feel-good story as Jacksonville has been, Jacksonville does not scare me as an opponent.
Sure.
I think Trevor Lawrence has played very, very well this season. And
finally living up to expectations.
Yeah. But at the same time, their division had not been great. Indianapolis fell off completely when Daniel Jones went down. Otherwise, they would arguably still be in this. Tennessee is a hot mess express.
Yeah.
Houston has gotten there by their defense.
Yeah.
That's been it. Their offense does not scare anybody.
Yeah.
But for Jacksonville, I think they took a lot of teams by surprise. I think, though, they can go in there knowing that, hey, we got the home field advantage.
Yep.
The Bills do not play well when they come down to Florida. It's true.
Historically.
But I think what they need to do is be ready for Josh Allen, because I think there's no other player in these playoffs that has more weight on his shoulders than he does.
Agreed.
Because let's be very honest about this. Every time he's gone up against a Patrick Mahomes, a Lamar Jackson, a Joe Burrow, it's been a tough win if he's gotten one. But in the playoffs, his teammates have not exactly shown up when he's needed them to.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I think he feels his pressure more than anybody, because if you look at comparison to the rest of the league, Drake May, in the AFC rather.
Sure.
Drake May is probably the best quarterback that's not Josh Allen in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's be very honest about
it.
Lawrence has had a good year.
Yeah.
But still, I don't think we'd say he's an elite quarterback.
He's good.
He's good.
He's improving.
He's improved.
Yeah.
I would say.
Last year, I would have said he's on the cusp of being a bust.
Yeah.
That, hey, you know what? Just another one of those great in college, just didn't translate to the NFL for whatever reason. But you look at this year, well, he's flipped the script.
Well, he's flipped it because, you know what, he had a head coach in there that knew how to utilize him and is a very smart head coach. But the other thing that we have to realize here, too, is when you are going into the playoffs, and especially this seed for the first time, and with Liam Cohen as their head coach, you don't know what you're going to get.
True.
Now, am I going to say he's going to falter under the pressure? I don't know, because we haven't seen Jacksonville in this situation in quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And granted, Lawrence did well in college. Pro-wise, different story.
Yeah, mixed results.
Yeah, I would say he was never up to that billing that he was supposed to have.
Yeah.
And him and Attain have both came in the league. Attain has played well.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would say, it's...
He's not a lights-out back.
Yeah. James Cook won the rushing title this year.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything in this game because Jacksonville's defense is very, very good.
Yeah.
But if you're saying in comparison who can slow down who, I'm saying this being very honest. I think the Bills can slow down Trevor Lawrence more than the Jacksonville defense can slow down Josh Allen.
Sure.
And I think Josh knows this, and Josh has to play almost perfect. But more importantly, if the Bills are going to win this, he needs that defense to stop Attain. If they can't stop him, this is all for nothing. And that's the problem that they have facing them. I think they can get by Jacksonville because, honestly, out of every seed they had to face, this is the one I wanted to see them face first round.
Sure.
I think they have a good chance of winning this. I will say it's going to be close.
Yeah.
I'll say they'll win by 5.
Okay.
But it's not going to be pretty. And it's going to come down to some second-half heroics. But I will say this. The Bills have shown this season that I don't know if they have Bill Belichick in the earpiece, but they're making second-half adjustments better than anybody this season.
I don't know if you want that these days.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, however they're pulling it off, they're pulling it
I'll
off.
say Bill Belichick's record at UNC.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, maybe they're just turning off the helmet so McDermott can't make a call in that second 2 minutes of every single second half. Because I will say this, if it comes down to it's 21-21 with 2 minutes left and the Bills got the ball,
Well, Jacksonville, congratulations.
I'm not watching the game because I have zero faith in McDermott making a right call then.
Yeah,
And I will say this, if they lose first round,
sure.
McDermott should go.
I agree.
I'm just going to say it right now
I agree.
because looking at the injury report the Bills
I'll
have,
say I'm looking at it right now.
yeah,
Jordan Phillips, the defensive tackle, on IR. Shaq Thompson, linebacker, questionable. Wide receiver Jordan Palmer, questionable. Running back Ty Johnson, questionable. Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle, IR for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jalen McLeod, the linebacker, on IR reserve. The cornerback, Jarian Jones, questionable. Greg Newsome II, the cornerback, questionable. Offensive tackle, Cole Van Lannon, questionable. And defensive end, Danny Strigow, questionable.
yeah. But this is a situation, though, I think you have to take a look at the records. You have to take a look at everything fully.
Yeah.
This should be the Bills' game. This should be theirs.
So, Bills are coming in on a one-game win streak. They beat the New York Jets, although, let's face it, everybody beat the New York Jets, well, except a couple people. But yeah, beat the Jets in a real beatdown last game of the season, 35.
Mitchell Trubisky did it, thank you.
Mitchell Trubisky, which, hey, shout out to Mitchell Trubisky. I read a thing today where he went around the locker room before the game on Sunday and went to all of his offensive guys and went, hey, what do you need for any bonuses? And made sure to help get those guys their bonuses. That is a stand-up individual.
He's the Maserati for a reason, folks.
You know, so they're coming in on a one-game win streak. As for the Jacksonville Jaguars, well, they haven't the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, they haven't lost since my birthday in November. They're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game winning streak, beating the Chargers, Cardinals, Titans, Colts, Jets, Broncos, Colts again, and then the Titans to end the regular season. Oh, by the way, the game against the Titans in to end the regular season, 41-7. Yo. So no, this will be interesting to see. And here's the thing I say, and I say this not as a New England Patriots fan, not as a New Yorker, but as an NFL fan. Josh Allen's record, as we currently sit here recording in the year 2026, prior to the first round of games taking place, is 7 wins and 6 losses.
Mm-hmm.
And as you alluded to, those losses have come to the like of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. Who is not in the playoffs this season?
All three of those gentlemen.
He has no excuse this year, and the fans have no excuse to give him this year if he does not, at the minimum, get to the Super Bowl this year. This is his best opportunity, and for all we know, because ain't nothing predetermined and ain't nothing set in stone until it actually happens, this could be his only opportunity. Because, hey, futures, as to quote Yoda from Star Wars, the future's always in motion.
Well, that's the problem they have because of the cap space.
Sure.
So no, I fully agree with you. It's Super Bowl or bust.
He has to make the Super Bowl this year, because after this, you have to do something. I don't think they would get rid of Josh, because boy, that's pushing the red panic button, and that's the nuclear option. But at the minimum, every coach has to go.
Yeah, McDermott's gone.
Because this is almost in a similar way to what happened with Harbaugh, where, listen, you tried it. You had all the pieces there that seemingly were on paper should have gotten you to the promised land and to the Super Bowl. He never made it. He never got there. And so they let him go. This is his best opportunity. You look at this, you look at the bracket and everybody I mentioned that's in the AFC side. Who's really scaring and got the playoff experience that the Buffalo Bills have? I'll wait.
Exactly.
Please. Rodgers? Okay, yeah, sure. He's been to the playoffs a number of times. He's only got one Super Bowl win. You know, and I don't think he's ever even lost the Super Bowl, because he just went.
He went once.
He went once, and he won in Dallas. You know, so who's there that's like, oh, they've got more playoff experience and they've got more, wins than him in clutch game situation? No, it's him. This is it. And to the Buffalo Bills fans, I say, if for whatever reason he doesn't make it, you cannot but this. This is your one shot. And if he blows it, I'm sorry. It is what it is.
That's what I say. I fully agree with you. Listen, as a card carrying member of Bill's Mafia, I agree with you. This is it. This is boom or bust. Like, this is why I predicted them to go. And I never do, but this is the window.
Yeah.
So there's no excuses now. They have to win, so I'm saying they win by 3.
I'm going to say Jacksonville, but I'm going to say it's going to be Jacksonville by 3.
It'll be close.
Because listen, let's not forget, Jacksonville's got a bionic leg of a kicker down there.
That worries me too.
Man's got I think the indoor and outdoor field goal kicking record. It's something. Like, the dude hit a 67-yard field goal on Sunday, and he hit the net. He didn't just barely get it over the crossbar. No, he cleared that thing.
That's why I'm saying Bills by 5. I got to change my pick, but they're still winning this one.
Okay. Then you've got the game at 4:30 on Fox with the San Francisco 49ers traveling east to Philly and playing the EAGLES Eagles. Currently, the line is the Philadelphia Eagles by 4.5. It opened with the Eagles as a -3 favorite. Over/under is 44.5. Looking at the injury report you've got for this one, a lot of questionables on the San Francisco side. Yetur Gross-Matos, Jordan Elliott, George Kittle, Keon White, D. Winters, all questionable on the Philadelphia side. A lot of questionables there too. Marcus Epps, Jalen Carter, Lane Johnson, Grant Calcaterra, and Nakobe Dean.
Well, this one is a really interesting matchup. San Francisco has a rotating cast of characters.
Lord, yeah, they do.
So, I mean, I think the only thing for certain is as long as Christian McCaffrey is playing and Brock Purdy is playing, they'll be okay. Everybody else, we'll see.
They're in the weird spot, though, and I know they did this a couple years ago, where, God forbid something happened to Purdy, they're not hurt in the back.
Yeah.
In their backup. So, God forbid something happens to Purdy during this game. Oh, you got Mac Jones backing you up, who, hey, he had a decent year for San Francisco.
Well, you have to remember, the last time that they went in there, every single quarterback got hurt.
Yeah.
So is McCaffrey running the offense.
Oh, God, that was in Philly, too.
Yeah. So,
Jesus, I almost forgot about that.
So they're used to playing in a hostile environment. The thing about the 49ers...
What's Brian Hoyer doing these days?
The thing about the San Francisco there is they're used to playing with a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
This should be Philly to win outright. But
Yeah.
I'm going to say something that I know Philly fans are going to get mad about, but it is what it is.
They get mad at everything.
Philly has not looked great this year.
No, they really haven't.
I mean, yeah, they're 11.
They're almost human.
They're 11-6.
Yeah.
But let's face it, there's a major disconnect with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown.
Yeah, as a fantasy owner of A.J. Brown, can attest.
So Saquon Barkley has not played as well as he has in the past. So that they'll game plan for him in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to ask on Devontae Smith and some of the other wide receivers they have. I just don't know if Philly is really ready to make that deep run because they haven't looked consistent enough.
Sure.
They've shown flashes.
Sure.
I mean, but if you think about it, if it wasn't for a boneheaded 2-point conversion call against Buffalo, that game was going to go a different way. If Josh Allen's foot wasn't hurt, that was going a different way.
Yeah.
They haven't looked exactly dominant when they need to.
Yeah.
And I think for San Francisco, who's used to scrapping with everybody, I think they're going to pull it off somehow, some way.
Yeah.
It's going to be closer than people think. I'm going to say that right now.
I agree.
But I think that when they get pushing the shove,
Yeah.
you're going to see that San Francisco 49er team show up, and they're going to steal this one from Philly at home.
No, I agree with you 100% because I'm looking at the two schedules, and I'm not going to run through every game, but I'll run through Philly's losses because some of these, yikes. Lost to Denver early part of the season, which, okay. Denver's the number 1 seed. That's not really all that bad. Lost to the Giants the following week.
Yeah.
Yikes. Then you flash forward to the middle part of latter third of November. They lost to Dallas. Okay. Lost to Chicago. All right. Not bad. Lost in overtime to the LA Chargers. That was 3 losses in a row. And then this is the Giants one is yikes. All things looking back and all things considered. The other one that I think might be more yikes is the close out the regular season. And now, granted, I realize the Eagles didn't play any of their starters and whatever else, but still not a good look when you lose the regular season, the final game of the regular season to the Washington Commanders. Commanders beat them 24-17, and the Commanders rolled out Josh Johnson at the quarterback position.
Oh, my God.
Which, hey, by the way, you ever need a good a player when you're doing immaculate grid for the NFL? Josh Johnson, usually a good one. He's been on like 15 teams.
Yeah.
Their leading rusher was Chris Rodriguez Jr., and their leading receiver was, well, as you can probably figure out, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
But mind you, this is the same Washington Commanders team that I think either on Monday or Tuesday, I want to say Tuesday, fired their offensive and defensive coordinators after the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Losing to a division team last week of the season, okay, I get it. But losing to one that then at least 48 hours after the game was over, fired both of their offensive and defensive coordinators. Yikes.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you look at the San Francisco 49ers and the teams they've lost to, Jacksonville, okay, they're in the playoffs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay, flip of a coin, they could have ended up in the playoffs.
Right.
Houston Texans, playoffs. LA Rams,
Yeah.
playoffs. And the Seattle Seahawks, playoffs. They've beaten the only teams they've lost to, teams that are, or, well, should have been in the playoffs. So I agree with you. I think it's ultimately going to be the San Francisco 49ers. I agree with you. Something has just been off with Philly. Is it the Super Bowl hangover we hear about every year? Possibly.
Maybe.
But as somebody who on one fantasy team had A.J. Brown and on the other fantasy team had Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, let's put it to you this way. There were a couple weeks I started Drake May instead of Jalen Hurts. It got that bad. So there's clearly been a disconnect. Saquon Barkley has not had the same year he did last year. And listen, you can't go out and do that every year, but Lord, you expect him to get at least close.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close to what he was the year prior. So I think, listen, ultimately it's going to be hey, we've still got the pieces. We just got to retool a couple things and figure it out next year.
Yeah. So I think, the 49ers are taking this one easy.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah.
Then you get to the 8 o'clock game taking place on NBC and Peacock, where you've got the L.A. Chargers traveling up to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. Currently, the New England Patriots are a 3.5-point favorite, which is where
That's it,
which is where the line opened. Over under is 46.5. Looking at the injury report for these two teams, you see you've got Keandre Lambert-Smith questionable, Bud Dupree questionable, Tucker Fisk is on IR, injured reserves are, so he ain't playing. Kendall Williamson is questionable. Amarion Hampton is listed as questionable. And for the New England Patriots, Jared Wilson is questionable. Kyrus Tonga is questionable. Robert Spillane is questionable. Harold Landry is questionable. And then you've got Alex Austin. Their cornerback is IRR. So out of the four that are questionable for the Patriots, at least three of them are going to play. The only one I can't really say is Jared Wilson, because concussion. So we'll see. But no, this one should be interesting. Of course, you got the two high-powered offenses. Justin Herbert, 3,727 yards passing. Drake May, 4,394. 31 touchdowns for May, 26 to Justin Herbert. This one should be good. It should be interesting, especially when you got Harbaugh going up against Mike Vrabel. The MVP candidate Drake May going up against Coach of the Year candidate Mike Vrabel. Listen, nothing against the Los Angeles Chargers, but I think this is something that the Patriots are going to be able to handle. I think this is something they're going to be able to win. Am I going to say it's going to be a blowout? Is this going to be akin to what they did against the Miami Dolphins last week? No. Are they probably going to give up their guaranteed opening drive touchdown to the Chargers? Probably. Some fans are going to be like, oh my God, the Chargers are up 7-0 early. Go look up and go search the stat for whatever it is of how many opening drives the Patriots gave up a touchdown to the opposing team during the regular season. It's more than 5, I'll give you that. But I think this is ultimately one that the Patriots are going to be a little more battle-tested. They're going to be a little Vrabel's going to have them a little bit more ready, and I think they're going to be able to prove the doubters and the naysayers wrong and dismiss all this easy schedule BS.
Patriots are going to blow them out.
Ooh, all right. I would not be mad about that.
Let me break it down to you like this. I don't encourage betting, so to speak.
Sure.
I always say,
don't bet more than you're willing to lose.
Exactly. But I will never put any faith into the Chargers.
Yeah.
Because they are the most inconsistent team in all the NFL.
Yeah.
And you can try giving me all the Kool-Aid you want about Justin Herbert and being an elite quarterback and all that jazz. He has not shown it. And him going to Foxborough with Mike Vrabel, who is arguably Coach of the Year too. That is the person we alluded to.
Yeah, he's in that conversation.
The Chargers, I don't know what team is going to show up each week, but I know anytime that they have to go to Foxborough in January, it does not end well.
Yeah.
And they do not have a very solid running game right now. I mean, Vidal is all right.
Yeah.
But I think Drake May and company are going to punch him in the mouth early. They might give him that one touchdown, and then they're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be at least a 10-point blowout.
All right.
At least I think they might get a garbage touchdown and maybe bring it down to 10.
Could be.
But I think the Drake May and company are going to be so amped up in that stadium that they're going to just go right at the Chargers. And I'm sorry, the Chargers, I want to have faith in. I do. Because, listen, during the regular season, they play very solidly.
Sure.
But the running game is not great right now, especially with Hampton being out.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to ask Vidal to step up in those roles. McConkey is a solid wide receiver, but I think that Vrabel is going to scheme for him. Vrabel is coming from the Belichick learning tree.
Yeah.
He will have something in mind for him, and I just don't see Herbert playing well on the road against him.
No, I mean, listen, the last time the Patriots played the Chargers in the playoffs was 2019, where the Chargers came off of beating the Baltimore Ravens in the wildcard round 23-17, which you might go, no, why is that such a big deal? Well, everyone and their mother, especially on sports media, was hyping up the Chargers as, oh my God, I can show you the hype video someone put together online where everybody on sports media was going, oh, it's going to be Chargers, because they knocked off the 14-2 Baltimore Ravens. They were the number 1 seed, And then what happened when the Chargers went into New England?
They got punched in the mouth.
41-28. Brady had 343 yards passing. Sony Michel had 129 yards rushing. Edelman had 151 yards receiving.
Yeah.
They blew him out of the water. So we shall see what happens. Rivers had 331 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But yeah, no, Sony Michel had 3 touchdowns rushing. Rex Burkhead, there's a name for you, had 1 touchdown rush. So he had 4 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Edelman had 151. James White, Super Bowl hero against the Falcons, had 97 yards rushing. Philip Dorsett had 41 yards rushing. He had the 1 touchdown. And that was, oh, by the way, Gronkowski only had 25 yards receiving in that game.
All they did was screen pass that game. I remember exactly where I was watching that and going, are you going to cover a screen pass?
Yep.
And they couldn't. And then when the one time they decided to, Brady picked them apart. That's why I say I have no faith in the Chargers.
Yep.
Anytime that they've had a Super Bowl legit team.
Sure.
They have found a way to choke in the playoffs.
Sure.
It's going to happen again. And I think that Drake May and company are going to be ready for him.
Yeah.
This is a Patriots team that is not afraid to go in the trenches and go scrap.
No.
And I think the problem is Herbert and company are not built for that.
Nope.
They like having a very stylistically finesse game. They're not going to have that in New England.
No.
If this was out, maybe if they're hosting, I'll say maybe.
Sure.
I'd say there's a better chance. But listen,
sure.
I'm already telling you, the Patriots are going to blow them out of the water.
Scheduled forecast according to AccuWeather: 38 degrees and rain.
14. I'm calling the shot right now.
Okay.
14 points.
Listen, I would not be mad about it.
I'm just saying, listen.
Would not be mad.
This is probably my other lock of the week.
So then the last game you have is the Monday night game on ESPN and ABC, 8:15 p.m. Eastern, with the Houston Texans traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Currently, the line is Houston Texans by 3. It opened with the Houston Texans by 2.5. Over/under is 39.5. For injury report, let's see. A lot of questionables. Kamari Lasseter is questionable. Jamal Hill, questionable. Trent Brown, questionable. Kavion Merriweather, questionable. Jawhar Jordan, questionable for the Houston Texans. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Darnell Washington is on IR, along with Daniel Ekulie. Calvin Anderson, Dante Kent, and Broderick Jones all on IR. So we'll see what ends up happening, though.
We'll see what happens, but I'm going to say this. Houston has a very scary defense. They do not scare you on offense.
No, you know what does scare me? Pittsburgh's defense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pittsburgh's defense is no joke. And the fact that they held Derrick Henry in check for the majority of that game, especially when it needed to, that spoke some volumes. Now, granted, could they guard a play-action pass? No, they can't.
No.
But in this situation, I will take old man Rodgers over C.J. Stroud
Yeah.
because I think C.J. has not played great
Yeah.
in at least 2 seasons now.
He's okay.
He's okay. Like, I'm not saying he's completely, rubbish.
Right.
By any means.
Right.
But I will say I don't think that I think he's regressed more than he's progressed.
Sure. Well, and the other thing, too, is ever since Rodgers had those comments in the postgame of whatever week it was, where he's like, well, listen, some guys need to show up to some extra film sessions and stay behind a little bit more, their receiving core has gotten better. Now, am I going to sit here and say it's the greatest receiving core in the NFL right now? No. But you look at where it started to where it is now, they've gotten better.
They've gotten better, and especially one major factor is DK Metcalf is coming back.
This is true.
So
boy, you want to talk about a guy who almost could have been a pariah in Pittsburgh if this had gone the other way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, completely.
Oh.
But with Metcalf back, I like their chances better.
I do too.
And especially the fact Houston has to come to Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
If this was the other way around, I'd say there's more of a problem. But
Sure.
I think Pittsburgh's got enough left in the tank that they can take Houston out.
Yeah.
And I think that this is, I don't want to say Houston being favored. I think just people are going on emotion of just Rodgers is old.
Sure.
He still got the job done against a Baltimore team that was a lot better than they were.
Yeah.
And I would say Lamar Jackson is a way better quarterback than C.J. Stroud.
No, I agree with that.
And I think the fact that they took care of Jackson and held him in check, except for a couple plays that, granted, were miracle plays he escaped.
Yeah.
That one sack that should have been, I still have not figured out 4th and 7 there. I'm just saying. But no matter what, Pittsburgh's defense is great. Tomlin is got a chip on his shoulder. He'll have this team ready to go.
Oh God, yeah.
I think they win by 3.
Okay.
It's going to be close. I think the first half could be a little rough.
Yeah.
But I think Rodgers has enough left in the tank. He gets the job done.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
So a lot of interesting football to happen this
Yeah.
week. But exciting times nevertheless. We'll be recapping the playoffs as we move on in the season. So you know what to do at this point. Hashtag ODPH pod. What is your thoughts about Wild Card Weekend? How is your team doing? Or are you talking draft pick? Or are you talking about coaches being fired? Until all the smoke is cleared, we're not going to get into the coaches carousel because there's going to be a lot of moving parts right after the Super Bowl with that. So that being said, hit us up. Let us know your thoughts on the playoff weekend. We're going to get a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's Alan Dunford here from Top Hat Studios, co-writer and co-creator of Pocus Hocus and Grandma Chainsaw, and you guys are listening to the ODPH podcast.
Gotta be down to the punch, 'cause they can't bring me down if I'm already under the ground.
Coming back for another segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. We said it was a Fusion edition, and we meant it because we're talking some entertainment finally.
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute since we've done it here. Obviously, not a lot has been going on in Stranger Things, but we've got some opinions about that, which we'll get into maybe down the road. We'll just kind of leave it at that. But the one that has really been kind of dominating a little more so than not has been the releases of teaser trailers for a movie that's not due out for another year.
Well, less than a year now.
Well, less than a year now. Like I
Yeah.
say, 2026 has really snuck up on me. I'm still having like weird time resolvement here. But nevertheless, Avengers Doomsday,
Yep.
the new Marvel Studios epic that is coming from the Russo brothers, has released some teaser trailers. Now, we do know this past year they had that long release of who is joining the cast.
It was like 5 hours.
5 hours of just seeing directors' chairs with everybody's names on it.
Yep.
So there's a lot of familiar faces involving the MCU and recent additions coming over. So now we have a slight teaser for the film that is coming out in December of 2026. Asterisk, because like anything, cards subject to change.
Yep.
And we do have some teasers about what's happening. So obviously what we can say spoiler-free is we do know Robert Downey Jr. is now playing a version of Victor Von Doom.
Yep.
We do know that this is coming off the heels of the Fantastic Four movie,
Yep.
First Steps, and Thunderbolts / New Avengers,
Yep.
if you want to call it that. And we do know that there is a big change of what the direction of the MCU has been going in. Obviously, the move from Kang the Conqueror to Doctor Doom is a large one. The break glass in case of emergency addition of the Russo brothers sends a very loud message. This was the only movie. They've said this from time to time again. This was the only movie they would come back for to do. And
the one they're going to be doing, not the one that's coming out.
Right, but to get to point A, they got to do point B.
Yep.
Or vice versa with that. Either way, we do know this is coming. And we do know that a lot of familiar faces were going to be returning. Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. We do know they were coming. And then there were some other questions we were going to see about how the other members of the non-MCU family were going to get involved and now being a part of it. Well, we finally got our answers. There's been a series of teaser trailers that have been officially released by Marvel Studios. If any have not been, we're not covering them here because we don't do that clickbait nonsense.
This is true.
So we are going to be recapping the 3 that we have seen from the Marvel Studios release. I guess spoiler warning if you haven't seen them already, but let's face it, they've been out for at least a couple weeks now.
Right.
So really, Pad, I mean, we'll kind of get into it. What did you think?
So honestly, I wasn't totally blown away. Like, it was cool. Like, I was surprised when they dropped the Steve Rogers one first, just because I know there had been rumors floating around that he was coming back. He was being asked about it when he was doing press for other projects he was in, and he kind of shyly was like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. I've left that in the past, blah, blah, blah. But I was surprised they went with that one first. That one released 2 weeks ago, and I know everyone was losing their mind. And sure, the conclusions they could be drawing from that could be true. We'll see. But it didn't necessarily blow me away with as big as they're talking. And let's not forget, they had that 5-hour live stream where they slowly revealed the director's chairs of I don't know how many actors and actresses returning and reprising their respective roles, But the thing that was also said is, well, we've got some more surprises for you. That we're not done revealing cast. So presumably when you bring back, Robert Downey Jr., well, his counterpart in the MCU probably isn't far behind.
Right.
So once that I'm like, okay, this makes sense. How is it going to work story-wise? Don't know. That's part of the reason we're here for the fun. But so that one really didn't blow me away as much as it did for other folks. The Thor one I thought was interesting because, well, I'll be honest, I haven't seen Thor 4 since it was in theaters, and I forgot he had a kid. So I went, wait, he's got a kid? And you were like, yeah, the end of Thor. I'm like, oh, right, I haven't seen the movie since I was in theaters. So need to do a rewatch. But that one I thought was interesting, just kind of given the subject matter and given, what it was addressing and what it could be teasing, But I thought the third one with the X-Men, oh boy. I like what the one comment I saw is that trailer did more for James Marsden in about 10 seconds than anything else did in the last 20 years for that character.
Absolutely.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is the trailers have been interesting about how they've been set up.
Well, and the thing too, nobody in the trailer, with the exception of Chris Evans, has been a shock. Oh my God, I can't believe they're in it. We knew Chris Hemsworth was going to be in it. We knew Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were going to be in it. We knew James Marsden was going to be in it.
Yeah.
So out of the group we've talked about, Chris Evans is the only surprise. Chris Evans is the only, we didn't know that.
But I agree with you, though, when you said about the minute Robert Downey Jr. came back, everybody was coming back.
I figured he would.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of this. To bring him back, and especially how you have to get into the messiness of time travel and multiverse and all that jazz. Yeah. You knew Chris Evans was going to be not far behind. And I don't care about when you hear any actor in the MCU involved say, I'm not being a part of something.
The funniest part of that whole thing, and Chris Evans saying that, was how jacked he was during those press conferences.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you didn't see him putting on muscle again and getting ready to go. It's like, stop. Anybody that's buying into that nonsense, listen, everybody that is contracted to Marvel Studios in one way, shape, or another is 50-50 about being in this film. So we knew Evans wasn't going to be too far behind because there had been long rumored about a spin-off Disney Plus show. There had been long rumored about, what happened in his time away when he took the Infinity Gems back.
Right.
So this isn't really out of the realm of thought. And I thought for his trailer, I mean, it looked like a Cialis commercial, in my opinion, to be honest.
Somebody
with you.
actually set it to the music from one of those, and it was tremendous.
Yeah, when they said it, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing that is really questionable about that is he's holding a child, which we presume is his.
Yeah, everyone kind of freaked out, going, oh my God, it's his.
Yeah, which, I mean, to think about what that transpires to, that means he broke the timeline.
Well, we don't know that.
In theory. Well, with him going back, he needed to go back and not tamper with anything.
As far as we know from what we saw from Winter Soldier, because let's not forget, we see Peggy in Captain America 1. Mm-hmm. Then he fast forwards into quote-unquote present day. And then the next time we see Peggy, not counting Agent Carter, the next time we see Peggy is when she's older and she dies in Winter Soldier. And everyone involved with her family, granted it only ends up being Sharon, everyone is very secretive about her past.
Yeah.
And we don't know anything. So
But
you never know.
But just for the simple fact that if he did have a child,
Sure.
that does change the timeline. Like it's hey, listen, I don't write the rules. I just have to go by them.
Sure.
So that's what I say. So that's where that makes it so interesting.
Right.
That maybe that's the catalyst for Doom coming. I mean, I don't know. Like we just don't know. Like this.
Sure.
Like I say, it could be all for nothing. He's holding somebody else's child. We don't know.
That could be.
They
Could be holding Sharon for all we know.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the whole point is we don't know what's up with that scene because it could always be him longing that he wanted to have a child, but he couldn't because of the sacrifice.
Marvel has been known to pull the wool over our eyes in trailers before. Let's not forget Infinity War. There were multiple trailers of Hulk running through Wakanda with the entire Avengers team by his side getting ready for the final battle. Never happened.
Yeah. So this could be a bait and switch, which is fine. We just know he's coming back as Steve Rogers.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait to see what goes there. I mean, honestly, I don't think it's as big of a deal as people are trying to make it to be.
No.
Because
it's cool.
Well, it's cool, but Marvel hit the brake glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming back. It could be for like a 5-minute cameo. Like,
well, I think there's one that's probably not coming back.
Who?
What is it? Scarlett Johansson. She's sound pretty firm that she's not coming back.
No, I still say she's coming back. I'm going to say this. There are ways around it if they want to get the entire original Avengers lineup back together.
Sure.
I think she's coming back. I think there's only a few characters I could think of that would not be coming back.
Yeah.
But as far as the heroes go, listen, I'm going to say Elizabeth Olsen is coming back.
That could be.
I know she's tried downplaying it, but listen, they're not going to tip their hands.
No.
The only thing we know is what we have dealt with us, and that's Chris Evans is coming back. We knew that was going to happen, especially now with whatever drama is going on between Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes with the events of New Avengers.
Yeah.
That's going to be that's going to be a whole different ball of wax, which I think, Cap's going to have, or Steve's going to have to interfere, and
probably,
they're going to have a Cap summit. So, but then you go to Thor, where he's praying to Odin, about having the strength to come back and be a warrior.
Yep.
Now this is a whole different ball of wax too, because like I say, he's now grown away from being a warrior into being a father.
Yep.
And has to get the courage and strength to come back, which, I mean, I think when he's found peace after all the battles he's been in over the decades, what do you expect? So, like I say, this scene I don't think is so much, focused on him praying for strength against Doom.
Yeah.
I think it's just him coming to terms with, like, he knows there's a big threat coming.
Yeah.
It could be the Beyonder for all we know.
Yeah, could be.
I mean, there's so many different ways they could go with it, especially if you know the source material of Secret Wars by Jonathan Hickman.
Sure.
There's a lot of areas they can move to.
Yeah.
So this one, I don't know necessarily with this, other than I think it's just him praying to get strength back to go fight because he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Reminding me almost in a way of Kratos in the God of War franchise, where you look at where Kratos was if you played God of War 3 and the previous two prequels, 1 and 2. And then you flash forward to the 2018 God of War, which not a direct sequel, but it is.
Yeah.
Different Kratos from what we see from one to the next. Now, obviously, time has passed and a lot of shit's gone down.
Yeah.
Almost in a similar way to what we see with Thor, where, let's face it, Thor's been exiled to Earth by his father and forced to prove himself worthy so that he can come back. Watched his brother, quote unquote, die at the end of Thor Dark World. And then come to find out, JK. Come to Thor 3, where he loses his home world and a whole bunch of people he's known since he was a child with Valhalla, Asgard, and had that whole thing go down. And then you flash forward to 4, which is just dealing with all the repercussions and everything else that came after that. He's been through a lot of crap in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, I was gonna say he found peace. He doesn't want to go back to that world he was in.
I can't say I blame him.
Yeah, which I understand. Which I'm like, okay, then that's why I don't think he's so freaked out about Doom.
Yeah,
I know I was hearing a couple theories about that. I'm just like, I understand where they're going.
I think he's just tired and doesn't want to fight.
That's where I took it.
He's like, man, just give me the strength for one more round.
Exactly. That's where I took it. He found peace. He doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we've seen that play out in many, many movies. So.
Sure.
But the one that I think it was the best one thus far, and the one I think made the most noise, was the X universe.
Yep.
I mean, we saw
Patrick Stewart, Ian
Yep.
McKellen are in a really run-down version of Xavier's Mansion.
Yep.
Now, as convoluted as the X-Men timeline is, because, you need a chart like you see Charlie Day has in Always Sunny in Philadelphia to follow the X-Men timeline. We don't know when or where this is taking place in the X-Men universe. There might be some sort of explanation, or they might just tell us, hey, trust us, it's taking place in the timeline.
Or better yet,
Reasons. So we know it's taking place at some point in the X-Men universe. Rundown version with a little older-looking Magneto, because, well, he's got longer hair and he's got a beard. Talking about death and how it comes for us all eventually.
I was so freaking out that was Joseph. If you know, you know. I'm just like, oh, no, please don't say we're going that route. No, but that was the one thing, too. I think we do know that both Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen were going to retire from the roles.
Until they're 90.
Yeah. But this is a perfect way to send them off because this is the end of the X universe from Fox.
Yep.
There's still that Marvel's ending that we still have not heard anything about.
Yeah.
So how that comes into play, we don't know.
Yeah.
But the only real takeaway from this is, other than those two just having a magic moment on screen like they always have, is we finally saw a moment, as Pat alluded to, that gave more life to Scott Summers than any other live-action appearance he's had thus far. And James Marsden was in his Cyclops' traditional blue and gold costume.
Yep.
The one that was made famous in the 1990s when Jim Lee and Chris Claremont was restarting the series. This is X-Men 97 right here. And to see him unloading his blasts with sentinels around him, that's what it looks like.
That's what the legs appear to be.
Yes. Is a truly, truly big moment. Now, there's a lot of speculation about who the sentinels belong to.
Yep.
Are they Doom? Is it like when Iron Man, when Tony's technology was taken and they had Stark reactors inside them?
Yeah.
Is it that kind of situation? Hard to say.
We'll see.
The only thing you know is there's something apocalyptic, no innuendo involving, but
no Oscar Isaac appearance?
Not as of yet, but you never know.
Okay.
With what's going on there. And we just know the X-Men are going to appear. Now, however many, we don't know. What versions, we don't know.
Right.
We just know that we knew Marsden was coming back as Cyclops for this.
I think we know a couple more, but I don't think we know the full
lineup.
I don't think we know the full lineup.
No, they've been very, very quiet about that. I mean, I'm sure you're going to see a great mix of characters from all the films.
We'll say we know Kelsey Grammer's coming back as Hank McCoy, but then again, we already knew that from the end of The Marvels.
Right.
So that it's not exactly, earth-shattering news. But then, like you said, Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen coming back as Professor X and Magneto, respectively.
Yeah. Mystique, I think.
Alan Cumming is coming back as Nightcrawler. We do know that. Rebecca Romaine is coming back as Mystique. Channing Tatum is coming back or making his first appearance. I don't know how you want to define it, as Gambit. But yeah, the rest of them we're not 100% sure on.
No, I mean
rumors and speculation, but
well, that's the whole point. I mean, they have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
So whatever the end goal is going to be for Doomsday, we have to wait and see. But from the 3 trailers, I think they're good moments.
Yeah, it's just getting fans hyped up for it.
Yeah, and especially I think for Marvel, which I know we're going to hear some nonsense about this statement, but it is what it is. Marvel has not had a real banner year when it comes to their live action stuff as far as the movies go.
True.
Captain America: Brave New World last year, I thought was very solid.
It was good.
It was good, but I don't think it was the blockbuster that many were expecting it to be. Mm-hmm. But then again, when you have Red Hulk involved,
Yeah.
that's it's a tough sell. I'm sorry, nothing against Anthony Mackie. I thought he was great as Sam Wilson, and especially he was great as Captain America.
Yeah.
But it just didn't translate into box office dollars.
Yeah.
The same can go for Thunderbolts asterisks.
Sure.
Which I understand what they were trying to do.
Sure.
But the fact that the ending really messed things up when you try selling it as New Avengers and take it into a very, very odd direction.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. And then, I mean, for being a solid movie for what it was, trying to, force it into the Avengers franchise, that was a tough sell.
Yeah.
And then Fantastic Four First Steps, great movie, as we talked about on the show.
Sure.
But then again, you're trying to force the Doctor Doom aspect in there when you gave the cameo at the end, and then to see where it goes now. But they didn't really generate that buzz that I think they were relying on it.
Right.
And I think that's why we have the hit the break glass moment here.
Yeah.
Where like the Disney Plus shows, Daredevil was amazing.
Yeah.
We discussed about that. Ironheart was very slept on.
Yep.
But then again, it was part of the Bob Iger coming back plans.
Right. It was written and filmed a while ago.
Right. So when they've done the reset about things and they
Yep.
went away from the Kang setup
Yep.
to now what they're going with, whatever the Doctor Doom version is going to be, a lot of things are getting kind of, question mark about where they mean long term.
Yeah.
And plus, we have to give the distinguished competition their due.
Sure.
DC came back in a monster way with what they set up with Superman.
Yeah.
I think Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow
Yeah.
had really surprised some fans about
Yeah.
what we saw.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of spurred Marvel into reacting a little bit.
Sure. No, I agree with that. Plus, I mean, I'm looking at the slate for this year. In terms of things that are going to directly impact the overall, timeline, as it were, not a whole lot, because sure, Wonder Man's coming out this year, but I don't foresee that having a direct impact on Avengers Doomsday or anything else coming with it. Could it play in some small capacity? Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is coming out, supposed to be in March, according to reports. Mm-hmm. But listen, I loved Season 1. I'm not holding my breath for him to show up in any capacity in Avengers Doomsday. So we'll see what happens with that. The best opportunity you've got is Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is coming out in July.
Yeah.
That's absolutely going to tie into Avengers Doomsday in some capacity. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. After that, you've got Season 2 of X-Men 97. Well, that's not going to tie in any
No, that won't
way,
be
shape, or form. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 is allegedly coming out in the fall, which, okay, nope, not going to tie in any way, shape, or form. And then you've got Avengers Doomsday. So in terms of everything, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I mentioned before I got to Avengers Doomsday, one of them is guaranteed lock going to have an impact on Doomsday. So you're telling they've got to do something to hype it up and get fans excited about it, because this isn't like going into Endgame where you were building off of the anticipation of what happened with Infinity War. And, oh my God, this is the MCU's Empire Strikes Back, where how are they going to come back from this? How are they going to right the wrongs and save the day? You can't sustain people for a year off of that because, well, we have no idea how it's going to get there.
Exactly.
There's bits and pieces and there's little inklings of what we've seen from the bonus scenes and the credit scenes, but that's not enough to really go on for more than 5 minutes. So they've got to do something. And is this hitting a home run out of the park? No. I'd say right now it's probably a ground rule double.
I would say that's a safe bet. I mean, I think so. I mean,
We'll see when the full trailer comes out, because rumor is, and this ain't the plug talking, this is just some of the rumors I've read online. There's a rumor, which it would make sense. There's a rumor the full-blown trailer for this is going to come out on the Super Bowl. That would be smart. Which would make sense. Rumor is there's going to be at least one more, because I believe the reports were there were going to be 4 of these little mini trailers before the full-blown trailer comes. So we should get at least one more of these mini trailers, and then we get the full-blown thing. And the rumor is the full-blown is going to come out on Super Bowl.
Oh, I think you're going to see that. I think we'll talk about that when we get closer to Super Bowl.
Sure.
But I fully think you're going to see that, because if Marvel is already showing that, I hate saying panic, but it is. If they're already showing that kind of panic right now, they're going to go for Super Bowl. Where else will you have the most eyes to watch your product and have a meltdown about it?
Sure.
It's smart business. I'm not faulting them on it.
Sure.
But they had better come with something. Like, you're going to have to see Doom standing in front of the Avengers.
Sure.
Just for a brief second, whatever the case is, in full
Sure.
costume. They're going to need to come with something. But I do agree with you. I mean, if they're going to try tying, because they just changed course.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem that they have, because when they went away from the Kang the Conqueror storyline,
Yeah.
which we all knew that was going to be tough to do anyway.
Uh-huh.
Now you're really forcing a lot of things. You're going to have to really throw a lot of stuff against the wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
And especially if you're going to try tying in all the X universe, Fantastic Four, along with the MCU and this, it's you got to come with something.
Yeah.
I think the teaser trailers did enough to get fans talking.
Yeah.
I think if you're a diehard MCU fan, you're elated. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But I think you have to look big picture with this.
Sure.
That's the problem, is this was a panic move.
Yeah.
Did it pay off to get us talking? Yeah. We're talking about it.
Oh, sure.
But I think the only one that's really sticking is the X-Men moment. But then again,
yeah.
if you're an X-Men fan, you've been waiting to see this.
Well, and I mean, I'm looking at a photo that Sony put together of some of the major movies coming out this year. And I'm not going to go through everything, but here's just some of the major ones coming out before Avengers Doomsday. You've got Scream 7 coming out, which, listen, say what you will about the Scream franchise. They're making a 7th one. Mm-hmm. So it's clearly popular enough. You got Scream 7, Project Hail Mary, which I think, why are you mentioning that? Well, it's from the dude who did The Martian.
Yep.
A lot of hype going on behind that one. You got another Super Mario movie, Super Mario Galaxy. You got the Michael Jackson biopic coming out.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk about that one. Devil Wears Prada 2 is coming out. Mortal Kombat, Mandalorian and Grogu, Scary Movie 6, Toy Story 5, Superwoman, the Superwoman movie. Supergirl movie. Moana. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Oh, by the way, we alluded to Spider-Man coming out. Plus Clayface. Plus Street Fighter. Plus Hunger Games. Plus Narnia movie supposed to be coming out this year. You got another Jumanji movie coming out. Dune 3 is coming out the same day as Doomsday.
Yeah, somebody's moving.
That's all coming out before Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
You're going to get lost in the shuffle unless you do something.
Well, I think they if they were smart, they take a look at what happened with Superman and Fantastic Four.
Sure.
Because too close together, the audience was not pop culture was still in love with Superman, that they didn't
True.
They didn't show up for Fantastic Four as much as they should have. But it's going to be a really interesting chess match that they have to win. I think if Marvel still wants to remain king of the comic movies and still have that solid place in pop culture, they have to come with something that's going to get everybody talking. They have to. But then it also comes to the point, what happens after that?
Yeah.
Because now you broken glass, you use Doom, you're going to have an epic 2-film story. Where do we go from here? And that is a very big uncertainty that we don't know, because where everything has been phased, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Now you have a new phase. You're going to have to really do something. If it's a hard timeline reset,
Right.
Okay.
I think that comes after Secret Wars.
So it's going to have to. You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question about that.
Yeah, because especially you just think of some of the major stories they've done, since 2000. What did the first one come out? 2009.
Yeah.
They're running out of some major stories unless you want to pull back on those and start going X-Men heavy.
Well, I mean, they're going to have that opportunity to,
Sure.
but at the same time,
Sure.
the pop culture audience has been so used to the Avengers. If you want to replace them with the X-Men, that's fine, but it's a fine line to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't, that's the one thing, when audiences fall in love with characters,
Yeah.
and you take them away for that long, you run the risk of cooling them off.
Sure.
So, and then especially if you try replacing them,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't go over. I mean, this is the same reason why Inhumans didn't take off in the comics when they were, getting pushed by Marvel to be the New Mutants.
Yeah, true.
Let's be honest. I mean, but this is on a much larger and grander scale, because when we talk about the movie-going audience, and it's already tough to get people to go to the movies as is,
Yeah.
to go in a hard direction to a new franchise, it's a risky gamble. But this is what Marvel has to do. But I understand for the right now, it's the smart play. But I think for where they wanted to go with this,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a home run. I do agree it's a ground rule double.
Yeah.
It's got us
for
talking.
right now. We'll see.
Yeah, but they got to come with that trailer, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So A lot of MCU talk heading into the new year. So that being said, is up on the hashtag ODPH pod. The Avengers Doomsday teaser trailers are out. 3 out of 4. Allegedly. Which, like I say, we'll talk about the real one when it drops on Marvel Studios. We don't do this on just wherever we hear on blankblank.com. So that being said, what did you think about the trailers? Is enough to get you excited back all in about it? Give us your thoughts, and then what are you expecting at the trailer? Do you think we're going to see one at Super Bowl? I'm going to say yes. I think that's probably the easiest lock.
Biggest TV event of the year? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have Robert Downey Jr. running on the field as Dr. Doom at halftime.
Yeah.
That'd be the only thing more top shelf. But I digress. We're going to talk about that when we get down the road. But until then, we're going to our final break. We'll be right back.
Do not adjust your dial. Or, well, your phone, your watch, or whatever the heck you're using to listen to the awesome podcast you're currently listening to. I am the Duke of Nerds, Tyler Mack, and I am here to tell you that being a nerd can be a bit overwhelming, especially after 30. Life moves pretty fast in our nerd culture, and if you don't take the time to notice things, you miss out. That's why I'm here. As your Duke of Nerds, I am charged with educating, enlightening, and entertaining you on all things nerdy. I do it by running the 30 and Nerdy podcast. 30 and Nerdy is a Badcast company production and currently playing wherever you cast your pod. Follow along each episode using the hashtag 30andNerdyPod. And check out what all is going on at 30andNerdyPodcast.com. Whether it's DC, Marvel, comics, or video games, I have got you covered. So tune in now. Cheers to you, nerds.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
Got a couple things to talk about, first of which is obviously the local minute. And looking at the standings for the Federal Prospects Hockey League, that is, of course, the league where our local Binghamton Black Bears play. Another week, still in first place.
Let's ride.
So they're sitting in first place with 73 points, ahead of the Port Huron Prowlers in second place with 52 points. The Topeka Scarecrows come in third with 44 points. The Blue Ridge Bobcats are in fourth with 33 points. Danbury Hat Tricks are in fifth with 32 points. Watertown Wolves are in sixth with 30 points. And then the Indiana Sentinels are in last place with 21 points. Looking at their schedule from this past week, I know they had 2 games going on. Both of them were on the road. They had a game on Friday, January 2nd, where they lost to the Watertown Wolves by the final score of 4-3. Then they came back on Saturday, January 3rd, and won that game by the final score of 8-3. Almost forgot, they did have a game on Wednesday, December 31st, so a little New Year's Eve action here. It was a home game. 9-1 win against the Watertown Wolves.
Oh, jeez.
Holy moly. Looking ahead to their schedule, they got this upcoming week. 2 games, both of them on the road. They are playing the Twin City Thunderbirds Friday, January 9th, 7:35 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on the road. Again, playing the Twin City Thunderbirds on Saturday, January 10th, 7:35 p.m. Eastern. Don't worry, though, because they will return home for a home game against the Watertown Wolves. They love playing the Watertown Wolves. Holy cow. They'll return home for a home game against them on Friday, January 16th. So for more tickets, information, all that good stuff, BinghamtonBlackBears.com. And we got to talk a little bit of baseball because while the hot stove has been off basically for most of the offseason, a couple of moves, nothing huge. We do got to talk a little World Baseball Classic because yes, the Olympics are taking place here about another month in February. We do got a little bit of interesting baseball news because the World Baseball Classic is returning in March. That is the alternative to the Olympics baseball because, well, the baseball got removed from the Olympics. Major League Baseball came up with this idea where it's basically the same concept, just their own thing.
Yeah.
Couple of interesting names have been added to Team USA for their roster, and oh boy, I realize the Japanese team and the Dominican Republic team are usually favored to win the whole thing, but hey, you know what? I put the Team USA team right up there because I'm not going to go through the whole team, but I'm going to mention a couple of names. Starting rotation, oh baby, some dude named Paul Skeens. You might have heard him, Cy Young Award winner this past year for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Some dude named Derek Skubal, also pitching for Team USA, two-time, back-to-back American League Cy Young Award winner.
Yeah.
Some dude named Logan Webb for the San Francisco Giants. I mean, I'm just saying. Catchers, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh, the Seattle Mariners. Will Smith of the world champion L.A. Dodgers. For infielders, well, they ain't hurting there. Gunnar Henderson from the Baltimore Orioles. Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals. Outfielders, tell me if you've heard of any of these guys. Some dude, Corbin Carroll. I don't know. Arizona Diamondbacks. He's pretty good. Some dude, everyone's new favorite player from this past season, from the Chicago Cubs, Pete Crow Armstrong. And then Captain America himself, Aaron Judge.
All right.
He's in the outfield. And oh, by the way, the designated hitter, well, he's hitting Schwarber bombs because from the Philadelphia Phillies, Kyle Schwarber. Coaches, also nothing to sneeze at because listen to this team. Returning as manager is Mark DeRosa. He managed the team at least the last go-round, if not the last couple go-rounds. Pitching coach, some dude, most postseason wins as a pitcher, Andy Pettit. I don't know. You might have heard of him. Some guy, St. Louis has heard of him, that's for sure. Hitting coach, Matt Holliday. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
You might have heard of him.
Okay.
Some guy, bullpen coach. I know Chicago loves this guy, David Ross. You might have heard of him. Also, for some of the assistant managers, well, two of these guys, the folks in the ATL are going to know and love. Some guy, Freddie Gonzalez. Another guy, Brian McCann. I know he had a stint in New York with the Yankees there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then notable former Texas Ranger, Michael Young, also an assistant manager there. So hell of a managing staff they got going.
Very, very solid.
Very solid stand-up. And we should be interested to check out. Games start in the early part of March. So definitely have to keep an eye on that because that team, oh, baby, that is loaded.
World Baseball Classic's always very interesting.
Yeah,
definitely got to say
I know
that.
the USA won it a couple of years ago, and then last go-around had the thrilling matchup at the end of the final game between USA and Japan where it was Shohei Ohtani against Mike Trout, which was a matchup everyone wanted to see but couldn't because, well, at the time they were on the same team.
Right.
But we'll see what happens this year.
Very exciting times. You know, let me cap off. WWE kind of had a very quiet weekend. Nothing really going on except Obafemi vacated the NXT World title as we record.
Yep.
They had their big Raw and Netflix anniversary show. Which
were you as underwhelmed with that as I was?
Well, I mean, yes.
They're like, oh, it's Stranger Things. Oh boy. And they really didn't do anything gimmicky with it.
The only thing that they did is they did the intro. Or the intro was Stranger Things.
Yeah, they had some of the stuff from the show.
But then again, let me ask you this:
okay,
if they did some supernatural nonsense during the show,
sure,
would that have gone over well?
Probably not, but I would have at least, as integrated as Netflix has been with promoting stuff on Monday Night Raw. Because if you haven't seen Monday Night Raw since it's been on Netflix the last year now, seemingly coming out of every commercial break, they like to show an actor or an actress who's either got a show out, has a show coming out, and the same for comedians, where it's like, oh, hey, here's Gabriel Iglesias, which I'm not shitting on Gabriel Iglesias.
No, sure.
It's just the first name that came to mind.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, here's Gabriel Iglesias. He's here at Monday Night Raw. He's got a special coming on Netflix on July 17th. Like, they love doing that. So the fact that the final part or the whatever for Stranger Things just came out and you couldn't get any of the actors or actresses there for a night?
Yeah, I thought they dropped the ball.
Like,
there.
even if it was just like hey, they're backstage, it's Raw, and it's Stranger Things on Netflix. Because it wasn't Netflix on Raw, it was Stranger Things Netflix. The whole thing was Stranger Things themed.
Yeah.
If you'd have gotten any of the actors or actresses there, even not just to appear ringside, but like backstage having an interview with or talking to somebody, and oh, hey, you're here. Well, blah, blah, blah. Like, I would have gotten it. I'd have been okay with it.
They should have put somebody in the front row, but I think they didn't want to do anything super crazy with it. Remember when they did the Zack Snyder movie during the Thunderdome?
Oh, yeah. And then Miz died for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Miz was, quote, unquote, dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to go back that route.
True.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I mean, I think it was underwhelming to a degree, but a great main event, though, with CM Punk and Braun Breaker.
Oh, baby.
So, I mean, the match-wise was fine. I just think that anytime they try teasing a big event like that,
sure,
you either got to come with some big reveal or big debut. I mean, I think like the biggest disservice, I'll say this right now.
Okay.
When they went to commercial break, Javon Evans came out and signed his contract to Raw.
Yeah, and yet you did the Usos celebrating their World Tag Title wins. Which,
Yeah.
Okay. And
Why?
Then you went into Stephanie Vaquer, which they did that whole thing, which, okay. Yeah, no, I don't agree with keeping Javon Evans on the international exclusive broadcast.
Yeah, I think that was a disservice. Big time.
Yeah.
But that kid's going to do big things on that roster.
Monday Night Raw is bouncy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand. That's what I say. Like, so they didn't really have a lot going on. New Japan Pro Wrestling had a lot happening. I know our team over at 607 TWS, Rich and Sammy, are going to be talking about it this week.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal any thunder of that. That's why you need to subscribe to Fanlight Zone on YouTube so you don't miss that live show. Trust me, Rich and Sammy are going to be talking in detail because a lot of things happen there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, I mean, for the land of pro wrestling, it was kind of a little quiet.
I'll say the only big thing from SmackDown was Matt Cardona returned.
Yeah, that was. We see him have his real name too. That's kind of
According to Matt Cardona, the quote's out there. I'm not making this up. He signed his WWE contract on the GCW title.
I would not doubt it, knowing him.
Oh Lord,
No.
I loved it.
But you know what? I figure let's go with one more entertainment story, and then we'll kind of wrap it up with that.
Sure.
Because it was announced. We were talking about the MCU.
Yes.
A MCU actor is now joining the Batman 2
Oh, I heard
cast.
about this.
So it has been reported by various outlets that one Sebastian Stan, a.k.a. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is going to be joining the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson project for Batman Part 2.
Okay.
Now, his role is undisclosed. We do know he's going to be joining Scarlett Johansson, who has been cast in the role in the movie as well. So there's a lot of speculation about who he would be playing. And I think, first and foremost, great addition to the cast. They're really loading this thing up. It's not part of the James Gunn universe. It's a standalone, which is fine. But to think about who he could be playing, I know, shout out to Common Man Vince Ciotoli. He said he's hoping Man-Bat.
Oh, okay.
Throwing that out there.
Okay.
Do you have any speculation about who you'd be playing?
I do, and this is purely going off of the speculation of who Scarlett Johansson is playing. So this current speculation and the rumor I've read, and granted, some of this might be coming from Batman High Volume, which is a fantastic podcast.
Love that podcast.
Oh, which, hey, if you're not caught up, get caught up. They're doing The Killing Joke, and they're doing more justice for The Killing Joke than the animated movie did. But no, so some of this is coming from the High Volume podcast. I'm speculating Scarlett Johansson is playing Gilda Dent.
Okay.
And then Sebastian is playing Harvey.
See, I'd be okay with it. I thought they already had Harvey cast in the first film.
I don't believe so.
All right, I could be wrong about it. Like, for some reason, I swear they do. But, hey, listen, if they want to recast, it's completely fine. It makes sense. He'd play a great Harvey Dent.
I agree.
So that would make sense. I know a few people I've seen online said Tommy Elliott.
Ooh.
That could could be interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of like on that weird fence about, would Hush translate to a great film?
With the right setup, yes.
I don't, maybe.
But where the Batman universe currently is, no.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I struggle with that. Maybe it's because Hush 2 is out right now, and that has been such, like, listen, I'll keep it 100. I love DC Comics to death. That has been a major misfire, in my opinion.
I've heard similar.
Oh, my, I'm trying, like, it's the bad girlfriend I want to leave.
Sure.
I can't. And I just stay there because, like, it's Jim Lee's art, and I'm you know, but the story, oof. So, like, I've seen that, and that would be interesting too. I don't know who you would play, but definitely a huge addition to the show, to the movie.
Yeah.
Like I say, if Scarlett Johansson is Poison Ivy, which I could definitely see happening, especially with how the Gotham was flooded, and killing all the plants, I could see that.
Yeah.
That would make sense. But if they want to go Long Halloween, I would love that in the worst way possible.
Give it to me.
Yeah, so that would make a ton more sense.
Side note, Long Halloween Part 1 and 2, the animated movie, great movies.
Oh, definitely. Everybody needs to go check it out.
They are or were on HBO Max. Check your local listings. That might be changing.
Yeah, card is
buy physical media. That's all I'm going to say.
Very, very subject to change, and I second what Pat said right there. So that being said, if you're looking for comic reviews, Fanlight Zone is the place to go. 38 reviews, I believe we got up on
36 or 38, yeah.
We lose track when it gets that high, but shout out to the entire team doing amazing work there. And for anything else that is the ODPH Podcast, you can find it at odphpodcast.com. That's it for this week. So for the one and only Padawan
Fuck the Astros.
I'm your host, Ken M. Thank you as always for listening to the ODPH Podcast. See you next time.
It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know. 'Cause anyone who's worth a damn be worth way more than a picture could ever show. could find the right light, find the right angle, and never find your soul. And it can feel like a losing battle, and this plot is full of holes. This modern way of finding love just makes me feel so alone. And I can't be the only one sick of staring at my phone. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Don't know that I believe in the old time fable. Everyone has just one true love. All I know is you're across this table, and you're all I'm thinking of. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Ooh, ooh, talk to me. Ooh, talk to me. It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know.